Well, I believe that, which is my company's mantra, that you have to do different things and then you do things differently. Because in the world that we're in today, you've got to be able to stand out. So you do different things and then you do things differently. I believe that results are everything. If you can't provide the results, whether career professional, business owner, nonprofit leader, then you've done nothing. And I guess the last thing that I believe is that you've got to gather, you've got to grow, and you've got to give. And when I say gather, that's the learning. You gather knowledge, you gather wisdom, you gather whatever skills you need for your profession. And then you grow into that. And then once you grow and become the fullness of you, you've always got to get back. You know, if I could be someone else, I would be a better version of myself. I think that we all want to be someone else, but we all have to live with who we are. And if I could be someone else, it would be the fullest potential, the fullest version of who I can be. It would be me magnified or amplified. The one consistent thing that kept me moving forward, I found my shoes. And I guess you're wondering, what does that mean? For me, I learned how to walk through my life in stilettos. I learned how to wear the running shoes when I needed to. I learned how to wear the flats if I needed to wear the flats. So I learned how to walk through my life and with the different stages, wearing the right shoes. In other words, knowing my why I was going through that time, but finding my shoes and knowing how to walk through each phase because I knew what shoes to wear. And my shoes being my purpose and who I am. I've become that woman that I know how to wear accessories. Not the physical accessories that I have on, but the accessories of life. And what do I call those accessories? I know how to wear my intention because I set those every day. I know how to wear clarity, commitment, consistency, and momentum. I call them my fashion accessories. So every day I put those accessories on. So that's how I know who I've become. I know how to wear the right accessories for every day of my life. Well, I think for me, I minimized some of the challenges because the last 4 years that I worked in corporate, I literally put aside a percentage of my paycheck because I knew that I needed anywhere from 6 to 9 months worth of money. And so 4 years I was the employedpreneur, but I was steadily putting aside this money. So when I stepped out late 2000, I had the funds. But here's the other side of it. You don't always prepare for everything. And even though I had pretty much thought I had everything, I forgot about, you got to market yourself now. Yeah, it's great when you've got clients working part-time, but you're doing this full-time, more people need to know who you are. So I think that you need to prepare financially, and you need to prepare for more than what you think you need. I had about 6.5 months, maybe 7 months, and I wish now that I would have had a year. I think that I wouldn't have had to have worked so hard to get the business. Even though I had built a business, it's very different when all of a sudden all your bills have got to come out of this business versus coming out of your corporate monies. So if I had to give one word of advice, I would tell women or men Be an employedpreneur for 4 or 5 years, unless you've got a lot of money. Stay in that role. Do your business, perfect it. Let that company be your MBA, if you will. Glean from them, learn how they do business, so that when you truly step out, you're way ahead of those that just walk out one day and say, hey, I'm going to start a business. And sometimes you have no choice, you're downsized. But if you can be an employedpreneur for that period of time, it will give you what you need to have a growing business pretty quickly. You do have to learn how to work on your own, and that can be challenging because you're so used to, especially coming out of corporate America, there's so many people you can interact with. But when you become that business owner and you're working from a home office, or maybe you have a small office in an office building, you've got to reach out more because the connections are not sitting in the next cubicle or the next office. So you have to find places where people of like mind, they're there. And one of the things I think that I did early years that I wouldn't do again, I went to places where I felt comfortable. But I was just like everybody else at that point. I needed to have stretched myself and go to where I wasn't comfortable. Because if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. So for me, if you're going to go out, you don't have that support from the cubicles or from the offices, you go to those events, but you go to the events where you've got the stretch, where you're not the smartest tool in the box, where you've got to say, hey, I'm here to learn, and wow, this is a new world, and I'm ready to step into it.